We at Easy, we were hit by surprise more or less due for this lockdown, and we had to stop all CLT and panel activities. So many of our clients had already planned projects, or projects were going on. And so we had to find a solution to keep going and be flexible and creative with our panels. So our panels switched to home profiling, and at first this was quite challenging, and we had to evaluate it before if the products were really suitable for home use testing, and get the consent to continue with our clients and our panelists, and organize everything that is around with the home use testing, and shipping the technical equipment, and also later check if the data quality is according to our high Easy standards. So in our main location in Göttingen, we arranged the sample preparation in our labs, and we had already high health and safety regulations in place before Corona, so we only need to ensure to keep a maximum distance between our lab staff at all times. So the samples were prepared in boxes, including all necessary equipment, and the panelists received the boxes to take home, and this all was done contact-free and without the panelists entering our building. So for one important project, the home use profiling could not be implemented. So the products needed a high standardized individual preparation and an immediate tasting. So we organized individual sessions in our mobile cabin booths. So this booth was set up in the main entrance of our lab, and the panelists did not need to enter the cabin booth where they usually are. So we could ensure a contact-free sample serving and a disinfection after each use. So in parallel, we organized a remodeling of our training and discussion rooms. We set up an additional cabin booth there, and in June we could transfer all of our panels in Göttingen back to the lab at full capacity. So using the lab cabins and the new additional cabins, we could ensure the maximum distance between all panelists and lab. So for home use testing, the limiting factors are rather the general tasting and serving conditions than the product itself. For example, it's challenging if the products need to be tasted immediately after the preparation. For example, we could not move a project of whipped cream into home profiling, as the preparation is highly standardized and needs to be handled by our lab staff, and the products needs to be served within 5 minutes. So another limiting factors are the preparation devices or the preparation itself. So if you imagine a coffee project with 10 coffee machines, you can provide each panelist with a coffee machine at home. But in theory, it sounds good, but in practice, it's not really viable. And of course, another limiting factor is the product amount itself. So if you take a frozen pizza, for example, in lab, you can serve 6 panelists with 1 pizza, but at home, if the panelists prepare the pizza in their own oven, they need an entire pizza for the preparation. So another challenging experience were hot dishes. For example, some hot dishes can be prepared in the lab and taken home by the panelists in thermo boxes, but other products cannot be kept warm over time and need to be profiled immediately. Further, the testing under red light can impact the decision to move to home profiling. So for example, if you want to have a test that has to be executed under red light, it can be really challenging to implement this in home profiling. Also, to name a good example for home profiling is one study where we had a collaboration with one of our clients in a study on juices. Here, the client took action and was able to send us the products already in small containers so the panelists could take their own samples home. Other very suitable product categories for home profiling were, for example, personal care products such as body lotions, toothpaste, cigarettes, chewing gum, but also spreads, dairy products, or any kind of cold beverages. We conducted a comparison study that proved that the data from home profiling is really comparable to lab results and complies with our high standards at EASY. So this really proved our confidence in home profiling. For some product categories or certain study backgrounds, home profiling might be really time and cost saving compared to lab testing. So before, our golden rule was always to do profiling in the lab to ensure the highest standards, the highest level of standardization. However, with the experience from the past months, our point of view on this topic has changed a little bit. So for example, if you take skincare products that can be applied at home in their natural environment, for example, body lotion can be used right after the shower, and this context could be more fitting to a certain study request. Also, products with long-lasting flavors, such as chewing gum or toothpaste, can only be evaluated in small amounts within a lab session. However, at home, panelists are more flexible and the execution at home can save time and money. And for home profiling, this allows also for natural variations in preparation and presentation. But on the other hand, you can include the measurement during preparation, for example, when you bake a cake or cook an entire dish. So for future projects, we can consider the option of home profiling for certain products or study demands with high confidence and find the perfect individual solution for each client request. In general, our team just worked very close together during this time, and we really moved together, and we had to really find a solution for every single panel and talk to the clients and talk to the panelists and just move this all together. And it was really challenging, but in the end, we really came together as a team and yeah, are really prepared for the future now.